So apparently this lunatic decided that he was going to instruct negotiators to stop COVID-19 relief talks until after election. So before I even read any of this, because you probably already saw this news, especially if you have a portfolio, let me just call your attention back to the fact that there were a whole lot of people who were emergency workers, essential workers. They were dubbed essential workers. I always called them sacrificial workers because these people were put right out in front of coronavirus and the efforts to stop us from losing 2,000 people a day. At some points, we were even losing more than 3,000 people a day since, since March, since where the shutdown was. And this moron, lunatic, insane, senile old fool. And, I know there's a lot of Trump supporters who hide out in my channel like roaches. And every now and then they get so angry at the things that I'm saying that they pop up and they say, oh, guess what? I'm unsubbing. I hope other people unsub as well. In fact, there was one guy who just did that a little while ago. So I went to his page after I blocked him. And then I went to his page to look at his videos. Obviously, he had like barely any views. So I typed on his page, yeah, guess what? This is not an airport. You don't need to announce your departure. But this is exactly what I'm talking about. Those people were put out in front of this virus after Trump screwed up and allowed us to have the borders open longer than we should have. Mind you, we knew about coronavirus back in December. I first heard about it, and I thought it was just a joke because I saw some meme, and I'm going to show you the meme. In fact, I'll pull it up, where it was a picture of Vin Diesel, and they were saying, yeah, you can have any beer you want as long as it's Corona or something. And I didn't know what they were talking about, but I knew about this as early as December. And I knew about this also because Tesla was cutting down the production of its factories. And they were doing that because in China, the factories in China, they were experiencing another SARS-like outbreak. That's what it was called, a SARS-like outbreak. America, despite the fact that we're supposed to have an NSA and a CIA and an FBI and all that, and these people are supposed to be spies everywhere in the world, like you see on Born Identity, apparently, despite the fact we got all this information, they couldn't get to this stupid bastard fast enough. Either that or he ignored them because he was afraid it was going to damage the economy, right? So ultimately, what happened? Ultimately, we kept the borders open till like late February, and by the time we did, everybody was just expected to go home. Meanwhile, the best they could come up with for 6 months of sitting at home was $1,200 welfare checks that they had to send out to people who they, said, okay, if you make less than $100,000 as a single person or less than $198,000 as a couple, we're going to send you some Trump welfare checks. And then this stupid bastard had to take the checks and say, oh, yeah, well, I want my name on them so everybody knows that I'm sending out this welfare money to everybody. I got to put my name on it. And now look where we are. Look where we are right now. So he sends out a stupid tweet. I can't understand how the FBI and the CIA and whoever it is, when Obama was in office, they took his BlackBerry from him and they said, you're not allowed to use your BlackBerry because anything you type on this thing is basically subpoenaable in court or it's submissible as evidence, right? How are they allowing this and I know it's 4 years in, but how are they allowing this moron to continue to talk shit and cyberbullying people through the internet and cause crazy things to happen within the market to regular people who depend on their money and depend on what they gain in the market? Like to regular people, I'm not even talking about me. I'm talking about regular people. They lied to all of these people and said that these people were going to get money as essential workers. Now, mind you, I was never out there in front of the virus, but there was a lot of people who were out there in front of the virus, and they lied to these people. They said, you're going to get money, and we got a HEROES Act coming. And this wasn't the Democrat Congress. You can't blame this on them, because I know Fox News and those idiots over there, like Sean Hannity and Tucker Carlson and those morons on conservative talk radio. I know they like to spin everything and make it look like the Democrats did everything wrong, make it look like Trump was miraculously smarter than everybody else in closing the border. They try to twist everybody's words. They try to twist Dr. Fauci's words. They try to make it look like everybody was calling Trump a racist for closing the border when they were calling him a racist for saying it was a China virus and making it appear that what he was doing was xenophobic. But anyway, even though I know that there's lots of spin, there's absolutely no way you can spin the fact that this moron, by tweeting stupid shit and just doing it like randomly, can cause massive swings in the market that have massive consequences for regular people. I'm not even talking about me. I'm talking about regular people. They promised that they were going to get these people money. I wasn't going to get anything out of it. I haven't gotten a single one of these Trump welfare checks. But they promised they were going to get these people money. They got them nothing. And these people have been going through 6 months. Yes, they've been working and everything. No hazard pay. They had these people at home 6 months, and the best they could do was hand them $1,200. Really? So, despite all of the advice on stocks and all of the companies that I've suggested people get into, back in March when the Dow plunged down to like the 18,000s. Right now, this is where we are. We dropped. I don't know if we're going to keep dropping tomorrow, but this morning I woke up and I was up more than $600 or $700 only for me to look right now at 4:25 p.m. And after this idiot decides to send out a tweet, all of a sudden the entire damn Dow dropped down. What is it? 27,772 points. Tesla was down. Everything was just everything's just bleeding. It's in the red. Amazon's down like more than like $200. Microsoft's down. Google's down. Everything's just down. My CTIC, I was talking to the people who watch my channel, and I was like, yeah, you know what? CTIC went from, I had people getting in as low as like 80 cents, and now CTIC was, what was it, $3.50 something, and then it dropped down to $3. But I think they're doing some type of, they're releasing a drug or something, and just like Sanofi and Gilead, which are also down, you know, they had some hand in coronavirus research. So, you know, biopharma, I don't know what the long-term effects are, but biopharma, you know, should be kind of stable, especially considering a lot of people are investing into the idea of a coronavirus vaccine. All I know is they ain't testing that shit out on me. You know, they're not testing it on me. They can use it on the rest of you guys like they did in I Am Legend. They could turn the rest of y'all into vampires or something, but they're not doing that shit to me. So anyway, Google definitely down, Amazon down, Apple down, so forth and so on. My automotive stocks. Now, I told people when to get into Chrysler, and Chrysler is up at least $7 per share from where I told people to get into it. Ford, I bought Ford. The first time I had bought Ford, it was during the bailout of 2008, and it had been as low as $1 and like 98 cents. It was lower than $2. But this time it had dropped below $5, so I was like, okay, this is a great buying opportunity. As all of these electric cars start to be made, automotive companies are pretty much going over to cars that are electric. Ford has an electric Mustang coming out. Fortunately, it's going to be faster, and it's going to have more torque, and it's going to have more horsepower because it's electric, so you'll be able to kill innocent bystanders when you're at car shows. You'll be able to just step on the pedal and just ram down these people, and they won't even know what hit them. It'll be like lightning. So, what else? Workhorse. Everybody's down. Everybody's down. Workhorse, Candy, and NIO, Chinese electric car manufacturers, they're down. Everything's just down. Everything's just down. GE, down. Everything. Everything's just down. Facebook's down. Bitcoin. Now, it's funny because I've got these scam artists on Facebook who keep on contacting me, and they're like, oh, you want to buy the Bitcoin? I'm like, no. And they're like, well, if you give us a $500 entry fee, or something we guarantee returns and this, that, and other. Well, first of all, I already know that crypto at this point is nothing more than a federally watched Ponzi scheme. Because you got to understand, if you do earn any money with crypto, you have to absolutely report it when you do your taxes. But the thing about it is, by reporting it, you're setting yourself up to be audited, because the government is doing whatever it can in order to basically kill people's interest in Bitcoin and force you to stay in either the dollar or the stock market. Now, despite the fact that Bitcoin had a halving, despite the fact that Bitcoin has been through worldwide economic recession, of depression, stagflation, Federal Reserve printing money, despite all of that, Bitcoin still cannot see the highs that it saw in 2018. It's never going back to 19,000. I feel sorry for these speculators who are stupid enough to absolutely believe and constantly say and repeat that Bitcoin could get back to $100,000, or I'm sorry, could ever get to $100,000. It's not going to happen, so you can forget it. Twitter, I can't understand why Twitter allows that idiot to have a Twitter account. They should. And you know what's sad? There was a female worker at Twitter who actually suspended that moron's account early on. And they actually went after her and fired her. And I don't know what they ultimately did with her. But she, you know, that woman was a hero. In fact, I want to find out. I'm going to look her name up. She was a hero. Like, if I can make an award or medal or trophy and send it to her, I just want to find out her mailing address, because she did her best. She's a real American hero. She tried. Because not only I would have suspended his account, I would have fucking deleted it. But she did her best. She did her best. Okay, marijuana, as you know, until Joe Biden beats this fool and gets into office, we don't really have a shot at seeing our marijuana stocks go up, but I've got plenty of that, so I'm waiting. Technology seems to be holding out. My NVIDIA stocks are okay, but airlines all went straight into the red. I don't know what they're going to do tomorrow, but they went straight into the red. They were trying to get up. They were trying to get back to the green, but nope, they're in the red. They're in the red. And what is this? Cruise lines, everything's hurt. Everything's hurt. Everything is hurting right now. Everything that's not red is only a little bit green, but it's just not good. The financials, all the banks got hit. And what's amazing is that if you look at it in just the one day aspect, you can see that when this moron made that tweet, you could see everything just fall off a cliff at that very moment. And this is one of the reasons why day trading doesn't work. You can't be a day trader if you can't be certain that you don't have a fool in office. Look at this. Look at it. Everything just fell right off a cliff. Look at that. Look at it. Just fell right off a cliff. Every single thing. The fall is so well defined until some people would say that doesn't even make sense. This is like what it looks like when a country suddenly goes to war or something. Either you have a sharp rise or you have a sharp fall, but this is insane. Insane. Nvidia's because they got all these kids to give them $1,000. Yeah, oh my God. Oh my God. This is disgusting. Oh my God. Oh my God. So anyway, according to him, he wants to stop the, now Nancy Pelosi and them, they had proposed like $2.4 trillion worth of spending. Mind you, the national debt's up to $27 trillion. Mind you. Trump claimed that he was going to stop the deficits and he was going to stop the national debt. But just like everything else, that's a lie. Maury Povich would say, you know, the lie detector determined you're an idiot, and that's a lie. So basically, they tried to get $2.4 trillion because of that HEROES Act. So the Democrats were trying to get extra money for these people. Mitch McConnell was always going to say no. So I knew that when this went past 2 days, I knew that the House had passed it and the Senate was going to refuse it. What I did not know was that this fool was going to get out of the hospital, get his phone into his hand, and start sending out stupid messages and crash the goddamn economy. So I don't know what the economy is going to look like for the rest of this week, but you know what? This is where we are right now. This fool, this moron, this stupid, pathetic excuse for a president, this fool. President, in quotes. I can't even say president without putting it in quotes. This is just madness. It's like, where are the checks and balances to take his goddamn cell phone away? Where are they?